Well, good morning from Boston. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jennifer from English with Jennifer. I'm going to take a quick look at my laptop to make sure the audio and video are okay, and then we'll get started. Thanks so much for joining me. Give me a thumbs up or tell me that you can hear me and see me well so that we can have a great live stream together this morning or evening, wherever you are. Checking out okay. Ray is here. Fernando is here. Sharif, hello. Surprise, you thought we're going to upload? Like, it's so busy right now that I thought, well, if I can't upload, let's do a live stream together. I thought you'd enjoy a live event. They're special. I don't have them all the time, so it's good to have another one. Rahul, Liliana, hey there. Glad you can join me. Dahabo Kulmie, hello to you. And Nikita's here. Rahul joined us from India. Thanks, Ray, for confirming. Anawat, I see you. I'm doing well. I hope you are too. From Georgia, we have Gio. Hello. MD Sadul Hassan, hi to you. Rahul, thanks for giving me the thumbs up. Eunice, hi there. Lydia, good to see you too. Glad you're here. Nikita Alsu, thanks for giving me the thumbs up. Things are good on your end. I see another hello. It's night for some of you. Thank you for staying up today to be with me. And Rahul, I'm doing well. I hope you are well too. It's the end of the week, so I'm sure many of us are looking forward to the weekend. Is it Noor? Hello to you. Anwet, I'm glad it's crystal clear. That's a wonderful phrase. For those of you who do not know it, you can learn it from Anuwat. Crystal clear, perfectly clear. Gio, I'm glad you're here. Eme Bashar, I'm fine. I hope you are too. MD Sadul Hassan, I do see you. Hello, hello. Abed, good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Rahul, I'm glad you're confirming. Lots of people joining. Hi, Prince. Francoise from Belgium, glad you're here. Hey, Larissa, glad you're here this morning. Good to see you here. Asmita from, is it Cupertino? Where's Cupertino? Is that Southern California? I don't know that. Where is that, Asmita? Where is Cupertino? And am I saying it correctly? Is it Cupertino? I never heard of that place. From New York, is it Isienia? Hello? Prince? Escalabar? Yes, Christmas is coming, guys. From Bangladesh, we have people joining us. Learning mathematics. Are you learning mathematics? Oh, I've forgotten all my math. I can only remember some of the basic math. Dahabo is here. Ali. Bashar, I'm glad that you're joining us here. If this is your first live stream, welcome, and I hope you enjoy the experience. Okay. India, from India, Prince is writing. And Francoise, what music do I like? If you don't know, I've mentioned it in videos before. I really enjoy the 1980s. I like all music, but I do like the 1980s, and I like movie soundtracks. When I like to play the piano, I find myself playing ballads and songs from movies that I like. I'd love to visit India one day and try authentic Indian food. Shine Joseph, hello to you. So glad that you're still here with me, following me and studying with me when you can, Shine Joseph. Lots of people joining. Jing Dong, hello. I'm so happy that some of you are doing live streams for the first time with me. Super. Wonderful. Let me take a sip of tea. Ugh, my tea is getting cold already. I should have heated it up. Should have heated it up. A perfect modal. So what we're going to do today, guys, is take about 30 minutes and have a grammar test together. Now, the word test might sound frightening or might cause anxiety for some of you, but this is a test that we're doing together. Of course, you can think independently on your end, but you're going to see the comments and we'll confirm and explain the the answers together. It is a good idea to try to answer on your own and then look at the correct answer. See if it's a good match. If it's not, it tells you perhaps what topics you need to study. These are grammar topics. I have playlists that address these topics, and hopefully, if you think that you'd like more practice beyond the videos that I share, there are options through memberships, and I'll talk more about that. Okay? Let's see, we're going. I do apologize if there's some background noise. Those who have been studying with me for the past few months, privately and on Patreon, know that I've been dealing with renovations. Do you know what that is? Renovations. They're renovating in our house, and I've had workers here pretty much every day for the past few months, and there's a lot of work going on, lots of noise, and so I've had to really adjust my work schedule. So hopefully the noise will be at a minimum. At a minimum. What's the best way to learn grammar? Good question. There could be a longer answer, short answer, hopefully with me. You want to learn grammar in context. It's not just about learning the rules. And I don't often like to talk about rules. I like to talk about patterns because patterns change, patterns vary. There are patterns that people use in speaking. There are patterns that people use in writing. And you want to be aware of what are the commonly used and accepted patterns in English, and then use those patterns in your communication. I generally recommend what is most standard because that's going to increase your chances of being clear and effective in most situations, in the highest number of situations. So you don't just want to study what rules are. You want to look at rules, but examples, and then see this grammar working in context. I've often recommended Youglish, not just for pronunciation, but also for collocations. Collocations are groups of words that go together, and if you have a question about how a word is used, you can type that word, for example, on Youglish. You can leave it open to all varieties of English, or you could filter for US and see American English being used. And you'll see examples of that word, and you can pay attention to the grammar, and as well as just in what situations is that word being used, what's appropriate. Okay? All right. Abos, I'm glad you watch my lessons. Revamping? I say renovating. We're doing repairs and renovations. So we've been doing a lot of renovations around this house. Okay? Bashar, just keep watching and check out all my different videos. I'd love to target many different skills and topics. I believe that everything is connected. Writing, reading, listening, and speaking. Grammar and vocabulary are connected. Grammar and pronunciation are connected. And if you'd really like to see how I put all of that in action through my instruction, then I encourage you to consider memberships with me. Okay? Yes, I have a lot of high, intermediate, and advanced learners with me on Patreon. If that is your level, then the place for you to be is Patreon. Okay. All right, let's work some magic and get you to my test. I'm going to wait a moment until you see my screen. I'm going to be looking over to my laptop so I can continue reading your comments. For some of you, it's afternoon, I see. Manuel, hello, from the Canary Islands. Happy to be connected to you. Anna Bose is from Tajikistan. Hello. Hi, hi. Okay, it's looking good, right? You can see my screen. So I'll remind you now, and then also hopefully towards the end of the test, that one way you can get more practice is through YouTube memberships. It's only $1 a month. If you see the join button on my channel, it means that memberships are available where you live. Unfortunately, the program is not available in every single country. My fingers are crossed that it will be available in more regions around the world. But if you do see that join button, you click it, and what are you going to get for $1 a month? The biggest perk, the best benefit is that you are going to get language tasks twice a week on the community tab. These tasks are written tasks, grammar, vocabulary, and more. And what I do is I post them on Mondays and Wednesdays, and if you respond, I do my best to respond within 24 hours, and I do the corrections personally. You also get audio gifts through Emojam that you can use in texting. You get access to a member-only archive of recorded live streams from the past, and you get a badge, a cool badge next to your name. If you comment on my channel, there will be a badge so that I can easily identify who my members are. Okay. Actually, let me jump over quickly and show you. Let's see. Can you see that? I'm going to wait a moment. Right now, I am looking at my YouTube homepage. Actually, the homepage is here. But if you click over to the Community tab, that's where you can scroll down, and you see, as the creator, I can choose to make my posts public, or I can give them to members only. So if you become a member and you've clicked on that join button, what you're going to see is a mix of public posts and member-only posts. So member-only posts are marked, and the members can open up and see some wonderful tasks there. See, public, members only. Okay, public, members only, got a bonus task, ha ha ha. Okay, so yes, I do like to surprise my members with not only the promised posts that I promise 2 times a week, but also bonus or posts that might happen after a live stream, for example, or that might be connected to a holiday. I do like to give surprise perks. Okay. From Angola, hello. Another Francoise, hello. Ray, you're already jumping in. Okay. All right, guys, here we go. We have about 30 minutes or less. 36 questions targeting different topics. This is just a check to see what you know. I'm going to scroll down to section 1. Actually, let's open that up a bit more. Okay. Section 1, 1 through 4, gerunds and infinitives. Remember, gerunds end in ing, and infinitives are when we use to plus the base form of the verb. Base form. Okay. Gerunds and infinitives can be subjects. Gerunds and infinitives can follow verbs as objects. It is very important to become familiar with the patterns. Which verbs take gerunds, which verbs take infinitives. Some can take both and it doesn't matter which you choose, and some can take both and your choice can change the meaning. Okay, I'm waiting for more answers to be posted. Watch the spelling there. From Somali, hello Amina. Okay, everybody agrees. We expect to complete this test in about 30 minutes. Expect to do. Number 2. No, we're not going to do a poll, but what I am going to do is I'll share the file on Patreon for people who want to review. I can share a clean copy and then the answer copy, and that way you'll be able to retake the test at any time. Okay? I see number 2 coming in. People are choosing the gerund. Have you considered signing up? Yes. Oh, plus I'd have to do like 36 polls. That would be a lot. Okay. Consider doing. Number 2. Mm-hmm. Larissa, I agree with you. I stopped exercising in the early morning. You stopped a habit, so that's ing. If you choose the infinitive, then you stopped one activity, you interrupted it, you did something, and perhaps you came back. Like you're taking a walk and you stopped to tie your shoe. You stopped in order to tie your shoe, and then you continued walking. For Ali, let's see. Yes, I agree with you. I don't remember locking it, meaning it's not part of my memory. Did I do that? I don't remember. If you did in fact remember to do something, you use the infinitive. Did you remember to lock the door? Yes, I did. But I don't remember locking it. I don't have that memory. Okay. Good job, guys. All right, moving on to section 2. Prepositions. I'll take a moment to pause, let you catch up. Prepositions are those little words like at and at, with, for, to, etc. All those little words that help us make connections. Which prepositions fit here? I'm seeing different prepositions being suggested. The history of English literature. Wow. I don't really teach the history of literature, but occasionally I do share literature. I share poems, I share short stories. In fact, my Patreon members this month are reading 2 stories. We read one story already, and we're reading a second one for next week. So if you want that kind of practice with me where you read a story, practice vocabulary, have some discussion, then Patreon is the place for you. Okay, now I'm seeing the numbers come in. Yes, you are good at math. Are you good at something, bad at something else? Good at, bad at. Dedicated the song. I'm seeing a couple different answers. I might accept 2. So what do you do? Usually dedicate something. So what could you do? Let's go here. And we're going to quickly go over to a new tab. One of my favorite dictionaries is the Learner's Dictionary. So let's say dedicate. Hey, this is how you can check collocations. You dedicate yourself or your life to someone, dedicate something to somebody. If you're using something like money, you can dedicate money for research. But in this case, look, the book was dedicated to her husband. So that tells me here he's making it like a gift. The musician dedicated the song to his wife. Okay. Optimism is not a substitute. Anawat, I agree with you. For hard work. Interns can assist. What are you guys saying? Number 8. With. I'm looking for number 8. Oh, guys. Looking. So you go back to a dictionary like, I know the word assist, but I'm not sure how to use it. Then you come back to a dictionary and you look, right? Assist someone to do something, but you usually assist with or in. I prefer with here. Interns can assist with a big load. I might use in before a gerund, but these are the collocations that you really should know. I know that you know words like good, dedicate, substitute, assist, but do you know the grammar? That's about collocations. The grammar and vocabulary are connected. So when you learn the meaning of a word, that's not enough. How do you use the word? What are the patterns? Good at, dedicate something to someone, be a substitute for, assist with. Yes, Jesse, I agree with you. Okay, moving on to number 3, verb tenses. Shine Joseph, good. Larissa, good. Again, sometimes prepositions, another choice is not necessarily wrong. It's not always about what's right, what's wrong. It's about what is commonly accepted, what is considered most standard. So, dedicated the song for his wife, it would be understood. I don't think it would cause miscommunication, but the most recommended pattern would be dedicate something to someone. Okay. I'm seeing the answers come in, and it looks like there's a strong preference for the simple past. And I agree. The test had already started when I realized my phone was still on. Simple past pairs nicely with the past perfect. Which action happened first? This. First the test, and then I realized it was on. Number 10, Rahul and Ali, I agree with you. There was something going on. The test was not finished. I was in the middle of taking the test. Someone texted me while I was taking the test. So the text happened while the text occurred, I should say. While the text occurred, it came in while I was taking the test. A nice pairing of the simple past with the past progressive. And 11, what are you suggesting? I see one that I like so far. Okay, Ali, Prince. So here's the trick. It's tomorrow and it's at 8 a.m. A test is not just for that one person, it's for a group of students and it's scheduled. So scheduled events can go with the simple present. If it's a scheduled event, we can use the simple present to name the time, to name the date. Right? We do this with bus schedules, theater events. A performance starts at a certain time. A bus or a plane can depart at a certain time. So I would use the simple present. I have another test because I'm naming the time. I'm talking about the schedule. It is not, I wouldn't say it's wrong to say I'll have another test tomorrow using the will, but I would personally choose have because I'm referring to the schedule. Okay, but here I'm not mentioning schedule, I'm just making a prediction. And in that case, who am I going to agree with? I'm looking, looking, looking. If I say, I see context is key. Some of you are putting the simple past because maybe you're thinking about an earlier time period. But if you consider that these two go together, right? I have another test tomorrow at 8 a.m. And now you're thinking about that future test. Yes, Larissa and Francoise. Yeah, I'm inclined to say will. I think it'll last, and I do a contraction, it will, it'll. I think it'll last about an hour. It is not incorrect also to say lasts. I think it's acceptable to use the simple present because it's tied to the duration is tied to the scheduled event. So I think there's an argument to use the simple present. Again, in grammar, it's not always about what's right or wrong. Patterns, which patterns make most sense. If we're talking about a scheduled event, we often can use the simple present. Um, so, but it is a future event, and I would personally use will last. I don't think it's wrong to say lasts. I have a test tomorrow. I think it'll last about an hour. That's what I would say. Okay, some of you agree with me. That's good. All right, 4. Conditionals. Oh, we review conditionals quite often on the community tab because I know there are questions about the verb forms, and we've done some work with conditionals on Patreon as well. Yes, Alsu, you could use a modal here if you're making a prediction, some lack of certainty but some expectation. It should last about an hour. If you want to use a modal verb there, besides will, you could use should. Yeah, Ray, I think it's acceptable to use the simple present as well. I'm going to stick with the future with will. Okay, the answers are coming in. Ali's the first. Ray agrees with the use of the modal verb should. Okay, with conditionals, remember we have two parts. We have the if clause, that's an adverb clause, a dependent clause, and then we have the main clause. This is the condition, and this is the result. Our conditional sentences can be real or unreal. You need to have that clear in your mind because that affects the choice, right? Here, if you don't have, this is simple present, right? We're dealing with something real or likely. Accept, yes. I agree. Simple present, simple present. If you don't have a credit card or debit card, most stores will still accept cash. This is a general truth, a fact, so we can use the simple present in both clauses. 14, what are you guys saying? Does everyone agree with Anuwat? What are we seeing here? Would have failed. We should immediately start thinking about unreal past. Yes, Prince agrees. I do too. Right? You need to remember the if clause makes use of that past perfect form, hadn't helped. Here in the result, would have failed, would have done, would have seen. That's when you do would have plus the past participle. How about for 15? Yes, you can call it the zero conditional. I just like to say it's a general truth, it's a fact. It's real and in the present. 15. Let's see which answers are coming in. Good, Ali, Nineth, Shine Joseph, Young. Good choices. Ray, you chose the correct one too. Ray is looking ahead to 15. If I had chosen, that's the past perfect, and now we're mixing the time frames. How would I feel now? I would be. Correct. We can have mixed time frames, mixed conditionals. I would feel differently now if I had done something differently in the past. I'm happy, but I would not be happy if I had chosen another profession. Very good, Francoise. Young. Kong-hee, Nineth, SK. Good. And 16? Yes, it's unreal. So with the unreal, would is going to appear somewhere, right? So if gets paired with the past perfect, and if it's the present, it's would plus the base. And if it's the past time frame, it's would have plus the past participle. Okay, 16. Maybe we go to dinner unless. I'm seeing different answers being posted. Let's see what the majority says. Remember that unless also helps us form conditional sentences. The meaning of unless is if not. So there's an implied negative. There's an implied negative meaning, right? If you don't have other plans, we can go out. That's what it means. Unless you have other plans means if you don't have other plans. This already implies the negative. Correct. Preya, Francoise, Young, Jesse, Ray, good, Ali. Yes, Shine Joseph. All right, moving along. We're on our second page here. Adjective clauses, relative clauses. Which pronouns do we need? Remember, we have pronouns for people, pronouns for things. There's a pronoun that can be used for both. Choose the correct relative pronoun. Or, in number 20, the relative adverb, some would say. Okay, the answers are coming in. We're talking about a book. There's only one pronoun that we can choose here. I agree. Yes. Lydia, yes, you were correct in that other task. Remember, we're talking about a book, so we can't use these forms at all. Those are only for people. Okay? I agree. Now, number 18. Be careful. We're talking about people, but you need to ask yourself, subject, object, possessive? Look at the pronoun and how is that pronoun functioning in that clause? Subject, object? Is it making something possessive? Super, guys. Leaders who inspire. They inspire. If you don't know, then you go back to the head noun. We're talking about leaders. And can I put leaders in this clause? Leaders inspire hundreds. Yes, that makes sense. I can't say whom inspire, whose. Whose is possessive. It needs to go before another noun. 19. From Russia. Hello, hello. Glad you're here. Whom is only for objects, okay? This is the subject of the clause. I'm seeing a mix, but most of you are going with which, okay? What's happening in this clause? We have this idea, production decreased during COVID lockdown. Now I'm going to refer back to the whole idea, and I'm going to do that with this pronoun, which. If I use that, I would have to start a new sentence. I could start a new sentence and say, that's partly why we have shipping delays. But if I want to join these together, then I'm going to do a comma and use which. Which refers back to the entire clause, the whole idea that production decreased during COVID lockdown, which is partly why we now have shipping delays. Okay, and 20, I see the answers coming in already. Remember, we can make relative clauses with where, when, and why, place, time, and reason. This should be a big clue right here. And I see you guys typing. You're focusing on that word and choosing when. Was there ever a time when you directly questioned someone's honesty? Very good job. Okay. Remember, I have a whole playlist on adjective clauses, relative clauses, how to make them, how to reduce them. If you need to review, then please use that playlist. Okay, you go onto my main channel and search the playlists. I have all my playlists also listed on my website, englishwithjennifer.com. Look under YouTube videos and I have all my playlists nicely organized. Number 6, we're moving to adverb clauses. Okay, you want to correct the mistake in these sentences. I'll pause for a moment. Hamid, hello. Glad you joined us. Ali's suggesting a change already. Rahul, we're going to get to articles very soon. Part of the problem, if you're asking me as an American, is that we don't say we go to universities. In general, we talk about going to college, and college implies a college or a university, some sort of institution of higher learning. But in general, we say go to college, study in college, be in college, and that implies higher education. So, hey, Young. Thank you. For some of you who are signing up as basic members, thank you, thank you. I hope you'll check out the community tab after this live stream. Super, I see the answers coming in and you guys are correct. What are we doing wrong here? We cannot use will in a future time clause. If the future time clause makes use of before, after, as soon as, when, if, don't use will in that time clause. You're going to use the simple present. So we're going to change this to starts. We can use will in the main clause. Before the test starts, the teacher will read the instructions. Okay? And 22, what are you guys suggesting? Rahul, I wouldn't use, you just go to university and you take an admissions exam, I guess. Again, you're using language that isn't as common in the context of American higher education. There might be some sort of entrance exam or entrance interview, perhaps, but it's a little bit different over here. So maybe you have to go to a certain university to take their entrance exam. The context also changes things. So there could be a cultural issue here that affects the choice of words, and that then affects the grammar. Okay. All right, answers are coming in for number 22. Very good, Jagath. Yes. What's the problem here? We have two words that are competing with each other. We need to choose one. We could say she submitted her work late, so the teacher deducted points. Because we're focusing on adverb clauses, let's keep the adverb and take out this conjunction. Because she submitted her work late, comma, the teacher deducted points. Remember, if adverb clauses come first, we separate them with a comma from the main clause. If they come second, we often don't need that comma. 23. Yes, Prince also had the right idea. I saw something, swear word looks like. So yeah, you're thinking, wait a second, that sounds fine. Well, here's the problem. This has been reduced, right? I could say, if you know, or, if you know, knowing. We have reduced an adverb clause and we're making use of a participle, which is fine, but that means that the subject of this reduced clause must be the same as this subject over here. So if I'm the one knowing, if you know that swear words can be offensive, then you should avoid them. right? So we need to make sure the subjects match when we do that. Otherwise, there can be a misunderstanding. So either I'm going to change this back to a full clause, or I'll keep this participle and reword it over here. Knowing that swear words can be offensive, I'll say you should avoid them in polite company, because you are the one who should avoid them and you are the one who knows. Now the subjects match. Okay, it's just logic. If you don't have that logic, it can create really interesting and sometimes funny mistakes. So the subjects must match if you're going to reduce a clause. Okay? Prince, good. And I saw, yes, 24 is not complete. Adverb clauses, yes, you can say them just as a fragment in a conversation, but if you're writing, you want to write complete sentences. So we need some sort of main clause here. When you fall in love, when it feels wonderful. Okay, we need to join it with a main clause. Otherwise, it is just a fragment. It's not a complete sentence. Okay, 7, we're almost there, guys. Choose the correct modal verbs. Modal verbs are a kind of helping verb. They can express necessity, certainty. They help us do things like express permission, warnings. We're getting there, we're getting there. I said the test should take about 30 minutes. I think it's going to be 30 minutes plus. The fun thing is that we're on our own schedule, so if we go over, it's okay. On those official exams, it has to be a precise time period, but we have the freedom to play around with our time period. Okay, the answers are coming in. Rahul, it's again a little difficult for me to answer. You're capitalizing university, so you're telling me it's not any university, it's university in general. So I might say I had to go to university to take an admission form. I would word it differently. If it's a specific school that you had to go to, I had to go to the university to get the form. If your listener knows which form you're referring to, you only use the if something is unique and understood by both the listener and the speaker. If it's not understood, then you can't use the definite article. But again, I guess you need to get a form, but if you've mentioned it and it's specific, you need to get the form that I've been talking about, the form that they told me I need. It has to be specific from context. If the context is not understood by all parties involved, then you can't use the definite article. Okay, let's get the answers here. Must. Yes, the sign says you must. This is true. In our post office in town, it used to be, no, I saw some people take them off, but it is a rule now. You must wear the mask to get in if you're going to the post office. 26, what are you guys saying? Yep, most of you are saying should. I agree. This is expectation. Right? Our expectations are not being met. She should be here. Why isn't she here? She's never late. I'm worried. Right? We have some degree of certainty that that's the way it is supposed to be, and it's not, and therefore we're worried. 27. Prince, yes. Yes. Anwar agrees with you. Yes, if you want to be more casual, you can say can't. More formal, cannot. But we're saying there's no permission. They are not allowed to do that, right? They cannot do that. If you need to review modal verbs, I have lessons on modal verbs. Please check them out in my grammar playlist. And again, if you want practice with more modal verbs, I'm sure there'll be an exercise in the future again with modal verbs on the community tab for members. Okay? Yes, you could say may not is also possible because if you're trying to say they do not have permission to do that, they may not go in there. They may not use that door. Cannot, many Americans would do can't. Oh, we can't use that entrance because it's not allowed. 8, we're so close to the end, guys. Subject-verb agreement. This is important. Your subjects must agree with the verb in terms of number. 28, 29, and 30. What are the best choices? Oh, Shine Joseph, you re-signed. Thank you. I see people joining and rejoining. Thank you, guys. Shine Joseph, I miss talking to you. I hope you're well. I'm thinking good thoughts and sending you good wishes. Okay, the answers are coming in. Ali, Jagath, Fernando, Prince, Ali, Anawat, everyone's posting. Do I agree with you? Okay, with either or, this is the rule. This is a rule that you have to follow. You look at the first subject, you look at the second. The second one is closer to the verb. So the verb agrees with the closest subject. Paul is singular, but parents is plural. So ignore this for a second and focus on parents. They. Do we say they has, they have? Have. So you must agree with the subject that is closest to the verb. 29, I'm seeing some disagreement, but the majority are saying, what are you saying? Ah, actually, it's almost split down the middle, huh? Hey, Hin Chung. I'm going to agree with Hin Chung, Pham Ho there, because when you have a subject with a prepositional phrase like of, don't let this distract you. What you're really talking about is group, a small group, it. So it is, the group is. Even though we have plural here, the focus is on group. Okay. All right. And 30, what are you guys saying? Maru, Hinchong, Nineth, Hamid. Yes. Look at this huge subject. This is a subject built from a gerund. A gerund or a gerund phrase can be a subject, and it functions like an idea. So we can treat it as a singular subject, right? This situation, this idea, this is very stressful. What is very stressful? Living in your house during major renovations. This example is based on my life. So a gerund or a gerund phrase functions like an idea, and you can treat it as a singular subject. It is very stressful. This is very stressful. Okay, we're just about done. Section 9, parallel structure. This means that there are forms that are not in line with other forms in the sentence. When we join ideas together with a conjunction or we list ideas, all the items in those lists must be grammatically equal. A and B, or A, B, and C. Those A, B, and C items must be equal grammatically. They must all be nouns. They must all be gerunds. They must all be participles. Match them grammatically. Okay? I don't know about the history of English literature, Rahul. That's a little bit beyond what I do. I'm not an expert in that area. But I do like to read stories. I do like to write stories. If you've come to enough of my live streams, you may know that already. Okay? So I'm going to cue you in and ask you to focus on this part. Aha. Good. Nineth. Ray. Again, we said that gerunds can be subjects. So watching videos, that can be a subject. If this is the form that I'm going to use, then these must also have gerunds. Yes, Shine Joseph is saying it very simply. ing, ing, ing. So this is simple. Watching videos, uploading photos, and I'd say doing email, sending email, writing email. You need some kind of verb. It's, there's some variation that's possible there. And I'd maybe doing email, because you could send and write, read, and doing email are some of the things we do on our phones. Okay. Adib, I know this may be challenging for you. If you are a beginner, there are some advanced grammar topics here, but this gives you a sense, an idea of all the different grammar topics that you need to learn. So start with basic English and start moving to my other playlists that are intermediate and then eventually advanced grammar. Okay. 32, we have not only, but also. Not only A, but also B. They need to be parallel. Nineth, you're on the right track. So, okay, Ray is suggesting social media not only entertains, but it also, possibly. Yes. Yes, you could change this to a verb, does not only entertain. If you want to switch and use these adjectives, then you'd have to play around over here. Social media is not only entertaining, but also, couldn't we use a ing adjective there? Inspiring, yes, Ali. And then this you have to change. You couldn't say also inspiring and you learn. Doesn't work. Not only entertaining, but also inspiring and, well, if something helps you learn, could you do something with education or instruction? Learning doesn't quite match the idea that we're trying to express. What form can we use if we use? Well, it helps with education, helps educate us. Any ideas? Adjective doesn't necessarily have to be INGs. I think we need adjectives. So although you see these INGs, remember, these are not gerunds, these are adjectives. They're participial adjectives, ING. This is a gerund, but this is a participle, and I'm using it like an adjective. So basically, I just need some adjectives. It's not only A, but also B and C. So why not do educational? Social media is not only entertaining, but also inspiring and educational. 3 adjectives. I know this is not an ING, but at least we have 3 adjectives now. Okay? I do have a video on parallel structure. Again, look in my grammar playlist. Okay? Let's wrap this up. Here it is. I'm going to put 10 and 11. Okay. Section 10, 11. This is on articles. This is on an embedded question. I'm going to pause and let you look at 33 through 36, and then we'll check our scores. Oh, informative. I like that. Well, learning wouldn't work. Learning wouldn't serve as an adjective. Entertaining, but also inspiring, educational. Yes, you can use full clauses, right? It's fine. Social media not only entertains, but it also inspires and educates. Why not? You could do that. We can write that. And then we have verb, verb, verb. It's fine. Parallel structure, which means items are grammatically equal in lists or in pairs. Okay, answers are coming in. Well, I'm not saying, I think the inspirational idea is not just about when you learn, it's just in general, they can be inspiring to reach your goals, for example. Okay, what are you saying? No articles. I agree with you guys. There's no doubt that technology has changed. Ali, I agree with you. Society. These are uncountable nouns. They're abstract. Uncountable nouns tend to be very abstract, so we don't need articles, a definite article before them if it's not specific in any way, right? If you say the technology that we're seeing today, the technology that we're seeing today, I've just made technology more specific. But speaking generally, technology, I don't need an article. There's no doubt that technology has changed society. Okay? And the 34, let's see what you guys are saying. Yes, it's basically what I just said. Very, very good. Prince got it. Jagath, Yes, because I'm not just talking about effects in general. Which effects? The effects of technology. Again, I'm using technology in general, but I'm talking specifically about the effects of technology. And they're both positive and negative. And 35? It's true it's a singular noun, but you'd have to know. Let me see if it's coming in. Did anyone get it right? Very good. Now I'm seeing it, Jagath. Yes. With inventions, we can use the plus the singular, the television, the refrigerator, the automobile, right? So we can use the plus the singular here to talk about the invention of the smartphone. The smartphone has been, invention is countable. Right? We don't need and because it's not before a vowel sound. It's before a consonant sound. The smartphone has been a transformational invention. Very good. And 11, number 36, I think I saw already. Yes, Ali got there. Let's see if people agree with you. Ali, you have good instincts. Okay. So what do we have here? We have a question inside a statement. I am not asking a question. It's an idea. I hope everyone knows how much we need subject plus verb. We do not need to phrase it like a question. Here's my subject and here's my verb. I love. How much I love what I do. Oh, and here's another embedded question within an embedded question. Not what do I do. I hope everyone knows how much I love what I do. I hope you do. Okay. I do have lessons on embedded questions, and I've posted tasks more than once on the community tab on embedded questions. Again, if you got some things wrong on this test, it is okay. We're always learning. And guess what? It's good to review because even I make mistakes if I'm writing fast and then I'm not paying attention as much as I should or can to what I'm writing. It's just the ideas are flowing. I have to proofread, and sometimes I catch mistakes with embedded questions, or I might catch a mistake with subject-verb agreement. It happens. So writing at least gives us that opportunity to check our work. If you want to continue having practice, regular practice, then please consider clicking on that join button and become a member for, try it for a month, see if you like it. For $1, guys, you get 2 practice tasks every week. That adds up to about like 8 tasks for $1. So I think it's a pretty good deal. All right. So what can you do if you want to think and look back? How many did you get wrong? And then you can do the math, right? If you got 3 wrong, well, that's 33 out of 36, right? And then you can do the math and find out what your percentage is. But this is not a test to find out what score you got. It's a test to find out what do you need to study more. How can I help you? Which videos of mine would offer the review or the instruction that you need? And if you want more practice, then you need to consider joining me on the community tab. Again, if you come to my channel and you see the join button, it means you're able to become a YouTube member. And once you become a member, you'll come to my page, but you need to click on the community tab, and that's how you'll see the member-only posts. Okay? All right, guys. I'm going to check the comments to see if I have missed anything. We're going to wind down. I know our test was, it was ambitious of me to say 30 minutes, but it's roughly 30 minutes, but with all of my talking and explanation and greetings and whatnot, of course, it goes to about an hour. And I thank everyone for sticking around and being here for the full hour that I've been live streaming. Thank you so much. And to all the people who have just become members, I'm so excited. I hope you enjoy the experience. To those who have been members, thank you, thank you. To those who are not able to join, I'm so sorry. I wish the program were available absolutely everywhere. Hopefully, it will change in the future, but do know that I have all my public videos there. I love to include tasks in my videos, and if you post answers or questions related to that video, I do check comments on a daily basis. I try my very best to keep up with public comments, and that's what I can do for you. Okay? Thank you guys so much. It's all right to make mistakes, right? Even I know teachers do make mistakes, and if you catch my mistakes, I'll just be grateful. We all want to catch our mistakes, learn from our mistakes, and then just try to avoid them again. But we're all human, and our goal right now is to use grammar to be as clear and effective as possible. So grammar is something that we want to use. It's not something we should fear or hate. It's a tool that is in our hands that we can use for communication. And if I can help you use that tool more confidently and effectively, then I'm very happy. Okay? All right, let's wind down. Winding up is like, the kids got all wound up with energy, but I like to use wind down for meetings and classes and session when we're slowly ending. I don't just click end live stream, but we wind down. We say goodbye, I say thank you, and then we end the live stream. So we're winding down. Okay, Rahul, glad you're here. And no, if you really have lots of questions, then you probably want to consider being a Patreon member. But high, intermediate, and advanced is the level you need to enjoy and get the most out of that program. I'm starting to speak faster now. If you're following me, this is the pace that I use with my Patreon members. There are no captions in our live lessons, so if you can keep up with my speech right now, you're probably at a suitable level for Patreon. Okay, we target all skills there, and we do have live classes where the cameras and microphones are turned on, so it's not just me talking for an hour. You guys are interacting with me and with each other. But again, the basic membership on YouTube is only $1. It's the most affordable option that I can give for regular practice and feedback. Okay, again, thank you guys for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed the test, Ray. I hope others did as well. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye for now, and we'll see what I come up with next week. Whether we have a video or a live stream, I'll try to offer something because we have at least another week or so before 2021 ends. All right, so guys, thank you for being here. Take care. Happy studies, and I will be in touch with all of you hopefully on the community tab. Join as a member or post your questions there. Okay, bye guys.